much for the opportunity to speak this evening, and I'm going to be reading my testimony from my iPhone here, so bear with me, please. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak this evening on the draft scope of work for the Atlantic Yards Supplemental Environmental Impact Study. My name is Levin. I'm council member for the 33rd District, which includes downtown Brooklyn, Boerum Hill, and a portion of Park Slope, neighborhoods that abut the Atlantic Yards development site. The constituents that I represent are dealing with the effects of the arena and the surrounding development on a daily basis, and have been dealing with it for many years now. As many of the community have stated, the approval of the 2009 MGPP seems to be at odds with the goal of removing blight from the area within the Atlantic Yards project. Now, instead of 10 years of blight and construction, the communities I represent will be faced with 25 years of construction, noise, and traffic. I believe that the SEIS must sufficiently address a range of issues, from construction, noise, and traffic to affordable housing and economic development to available open space, and it ought to study the 10-year build-out as an alternative scenario. There is no doubt that the extended construction period will result in adverse impacts on surrounding neighborhoods. Construction, traffic, noise, and pollution have a ripple effect throughout our communities. In a neighborhood already battling traffic congestion and unsafe streets due to an increase in taxi and limousines on event nights, 25 years of construction, truck traffic, and noise from jackhammers and pile driving will exacerbate the problem. Proper mitigation must be outlined in the SEIS, and the ESDC must hold the developer to a high standard as the build-out progresses. Along with the construction of the arena, a lot has changed in Boerum Hill, Park Slope, and downtown Brooklyn. In the years since the Atlantic Yards project was originally approved, these neighborhoods have witnessed an influx of development, causing housing prices to skyrocket. The promise of affordable housing in Phase 2 is an essential component of the Atlantic Yards project as it was originally approved, and perhaps the greatest benefit to the surrounding community. The SEIS must address the impact of the delayed affordable housing units. Far too many longtime Boerum Hill residents come into my office on a daily basis seeking help because they are being priced out of the neighborhood. For them, 25 years is many years too late. What will we do as pressure continues to mount on longtime residents? I certainly cannot stand by and allow that to continue to happen. The Atlantic Yards project is truly unprecedented in terms of its size and scope, but that does not mean that it does not have to conform to the standards we hold every other developer to. The community has put up with far too many problems and will likely deal with many more issues over the years. At the very least, the promises made to local residents should be delivered sooner rather than later. I implore ESDC to be vigilant and to hold FCRC to its promises. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Levin.